So, ladies and gentlemen and basketball fans, I have a huge problem with these idiotic media pundits. Why? Because Steph Curry had 51 points in 32 minutes, shot 14 of 20 from the field, shot 11 of 15 from three-point range, and shot 11 of 11 from the free throw line. So basically, his stat line is 70 from the field, 73 from three, and 100% from the free throw line. Yet, what we talk about is LeBron James, because LeBron James is more important to talk about. The reason is because LeBron is the most marketable player in the NBA, and he is the golden boy. He's the poster child of the NBA, so we have to glorify him. And every time we talk about him, it's like we have to bash the other great players. LeBron is a great player. He's an all-time great. But why is it that we have to bash the other players? For what reason? We have to degrade their legacy because their value pretty much decreases whenever we compare them to LeBron. When a lot of times that I don't like is that why do we keep comparing players in different eras and different positions when they should not be comparable? You should be comparing players by their prime position. I'm gonna be the first to tell you that as great as Kobe is, the reason that he's not a top 10 player in my opinion is because he's the second greatest to MJ. And what MJ did, he revolutionized the game of basketball. He globalized the game. It's like the stuff that MJ has done, let alone the fact that MJ was entertaining on the court and he played both ends of the floor, is why Michael is going to be heads above. And then again, the dude is just marketable, man. And people are still buying his shoes to this day. MJ did so much for the game. He became bigger than the game. That's why MJ is always going to be revered at that top tier Mount Rushmore. But we should not be putting down Bill Russell. We should not be putting down Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We should not be putting down all the greats that have played this game. None of them. LeBron James will go down as one of the greatest to ever play. In my opinion, LeBron he's hovering in that lower tier of the 10 because I just don't think, the thing is people keep glorifying his statistics like crazy when you have to realize that as great as LeBron has been, and he's been the catalyst for his championships, you have to also understand the players that he's played with. Okay? He's played with Dwayne Wade, who was a finals MVP. The man averaged 26 and a half points before LeBron joined with him in the 2010 offseason. People continue to bash Chris Bosh when I don't understand. This dude was a 5-time All-Star, and in his last season averaged 24 points and 10.8 rebounds on almost nearly 50% shooting the year before he joined LeBron James. So LeBron made it easier for himself joining these other players. LeBron is great. Don't get me wrong, but people need to stop acting like he's had no help. He's had plenty of help. He's played with great shooters. Like, people need to stop with this nonsense. So my thing is also, Steph Curry can win an MVP with 3 other All-Stars. In the history of the NBA, there have players who have won MVPs with other All-Star players on their team. So people need to stop that shit, okay? Larry Bird won an MVP in 83 and 84. Actually, he won 3 straight MVPs with Hall of Famers Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. Magic Johnson won 2 MVPs with Kareem, even though he was past his prime, and he was with a prime James Worthy, another future Hall of Famer. So I don't understand that. Tim Duncan won one, even though David Robinson was past his prime. He was going to the future. He's a future Hall of Famer. Tony Parker was not close to his prime, but future Hall of Famer. And then Manu Ginobili, as his time went by, he's going to the Hall of Fame. But, Manu was a rookie at the time that Tim Duncan won his MVP, so it's kind of hard to do that. But my point is that these guys have won MVPs with good to great players. So why can't Steph Curry win one with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson? It's because people hate the Warriors and you glorify LeBron James. That's why he can't win it. And that's why you keep impeding that. Oh, well, again, if Steph Curry is not great, why is it that Kevin Durant joined the Warriors if Steph Curry's not a great player? Because by joining the elite shooters in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the floor is going to be spread out and it's going to give Durant driving lanes. As great of an individual player as Durant is and how he's evolved, he said it himself. He did not know how to play basketball until he joined the Golden State Warriors. They have a real system and they predicated on ball movement and man movement. And KD he's had his most efficient years with the Warriors. His scoring is not at the upper echelon 27, 28 to 30 like they once were. But again, he is super efficient with this team and he doesn't have to do so much. And now he can concentrate on the defensive end. That's why KD's having even better season. But again, KD's not riding. He's playing with these guys. That's another thing that people keep misconstruing, that, oh, KD's just riding these players. You could disrespect KD all you want. I'm going to still say that KD did a snake move no matter what. But people need to stop this too, that he joined this 73-9 team. KD joined Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson in their primes. But the Warriors lost 7 players to get KD. So people need to stop with that BS narrative. Also, the fact that Steph Curry stayed getting disrespected when this man is putting up great numbers. This guy had a 50, 40, 90 season in 2016. His unanimous MVP season. His player efficiency rating that year, I believe, was second to LeBron James, and I believe it was third all time for a season. He was the catalyst in that 73-win team. Now, what's happened is Curry has not played well in the finals, but people keep talking this nonsense that he has never been great in the postseason. No, he's had great postseason games. You just need to look him up on YouTube. He's been money in the postseason, and he's actually had good finals in the last 2 seasons. If you look at his averages, he's averaging nearly 28 in the last 2 NBA finals. So Steph Curry's putting in that work. In 2015, which is another BS narrative, he should have been the MVP. He averaged 26.5 on 45% shooting and I think 40% from 3-point range, or 38 to 40 around there. But you have to understand something. Steph Curry was the main superstar on that team. And if you watched how physical the Cavs played him in those finals, that's why his numbers were down. It wasn't just, and the thing is also, people forget Curry had a scary injury. I know people want to say, well, when you're 100%, when you put on the uniform, no matter what you're injured, you're considered 100%. But yet, when LeBron has an injury, you guys make excuses. I'm talking about the LeBron fans, the stupid fans, not the objective fans, the LeBron stupid fans that are always having a book of excuses ready for this man. Like I said, I got nothing against LeBron James, but it's you stupid fans that is what makes me go against him. And the media constantly degrading these other great players just to put this man on a pedestal. And it's like, at some point in time, I'm going to start pulling up stats to make you prove that LeBron James, as great as he is not the greatest. And people keep talking about how Kobe Bryant is overrated. LeBron James is overrated on a daily basis, because we talk about guys putting in historic performances in the season. Kawhi Leonard's Raptors are 5-0. AD's playing like an MVP. Giannis is playing like an MVP. This guy Jokic had a 35-point game on 100% shooting in a triple-double. Like, you don't hear that kind of stuff because all we talk about is LeBron James. And they beat a Phoenix team who, let's face it, a win is a win. And the Lakers are still trying to find their chemistry. I get all that. But at the same time, it's like it wasn't a big deal. It was not a big deal. But yeah, we're talking about that than what more Steph did. And Steph was balling against one of the best defenders in basketball in John Wall. So Austin Rivers couldn't do anything. And another thing about Curry, he has this MJ aura about him in the fact that he's so entertaining to watch. His artistry with his efficiency and his skill level for a guy who attempts shots from 30 to 35 feet, that you have to pick him up half court to defend him. He makes the floor spread with his shooting. That's why it's so hard to guard him, and that's why defenses have a hard time guarding the Warriors. It's not just the players they have. Steph makes the engine go. KD is the better player, the better overall player, but Curry makes up in what KD and what he doesn't have that what KD has with skill, with his shooting, and he draws so much attention. That's what people keep tending to forget. And this BS narrative that Curry only likes to shoot off of screens and he only does it off of picks, that's a bunch of BS. This man could shoot in so many and score in so many different ways. You need to look up his stats and his true shooting percentages, even from 2-point range. They're actually one of the best in basketball. And I think in 1 year, Curry, I think, was second in the league in 2-point makes, in drives to the rim, and efficiency and field goal percentage from the 2-point range. Sorry, excuse me, from 2-point range. So Curry is crazy efficient. It's just in the playoffs he faces more physicality. On top of the fact that at times he's been injured. People keep forgetting he's had 2 MCL injuries, one in 2018 and one in 2016. It's just the one in 2018 didn't affect them as it did in 2016. Yes, it helps to have other players around you play better, but the fact that Curry can put these numbers up on the team that he's on is telling you how he stands out above all the rest. And this is no disrespect to Klay Thompson. This is no disrespect to KD. This is no respect to Draymond. Like I said, Draymond is not on that level. He's the quarterback defensively. I would say he's the MVP of the defense. Like I said, KD is an MVP, former MVP. I said Klay Thompson, this dude could get hot at any time. But Steph is the engine. Steph is the catalyst. Steph is the most important piece of that team. There's a difference in the numbers when they're without KD to when they're with Steph. We need to stop doing that, and we need to show Curry more respect. The media, all they're doing is just brainwashing you, saying that there's no way in the world that Curry could be an MVP because of the fact that he's on the team, when other great players in the history of this game have won MVPs with Hall of Famers to great players on their team. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Period. Point blank. Clay's close. Curry's one of the best players in basketball. LeBron James is one of the best players in basketball. Period. That's just it. We need to stop bashing these players, and we need to start acknowledging them for their greatness. These guys are putting in work, and this season has been pretty lit so far, and I can't wait to what this season entails. Until then, I'll be coming out with a future video. Peace.